Atheism prides itself on being scientific and rational, but its own stories never stay the same. What was once settled fact gets quietly discarded. New evidence forces new revisions. Ideas morph until they start to look suspiciously like the very accounts they once mocked. For years, the claim was that there was no first man and woman. Humanity, they said, emerged slowly from scattered populations, blending into one another. A first pair was a myth, but genetics forced a retreat. Now they admit all living humans trace back to a single man and a single woman, what they call mitochondrial Eve and Y-Chromosome Adam. At first they insisted these two were separated by tens of thousands of years. That was their way of keeping distance from Genesis. As the data sharpened, the gap shrank. They now admit both lived at roughly the same time. The idea of a first man and woman, once ridiculed, has returned, only rebranded. The same shift happened with the flood. The Bible's account of a global catastrophe was written off as primitive myth. Modern science, they said, knew better. Genetics again undercut the claim. Evidence shows humanity went through a severe bottleneck, reduced to a tiny group before expanding again. They won't say it was 8 people on an ark. Instead, they'll inflate the numbers to a few thousand. The principle's the same. Mankind was nearly wiped out and began again from a remnant. They can't erase the echo of Noah. Then there's the collapse of human lifespans after the flood. Scripture records people once living centuries, then rapidly declining, until lifespans leveled out near where they are today. No storyteller would invent a slow, irreversible decay like that. Myths exaggerate upward, the Bible records decline. Today, genetics speaks of mutation load and genetic decay. Errors build up in the human genome, generation by generation, dragging down life expectancy. They're describing, in sterile terms, what Scripture recorded thousands of years ago. Even Babel has its mirror in modern science. For decades, the story was that languages evolved slowly, branching out step by step. Linguistic evidence refuses to fit. Languages appear suddenly, fully formed, complex from the start. No long transitions, no half-languages, just sudden diversity. They call it a mystery. The Bible calls it judgment. Atheism presents itself as a fortress of reason, yet its walls keep crumbling. Its stories are rewritten again and again, always shifting, always chasing evidence it didn't expect. And every shift pulls them closer to the very word they set out to reject. What they once denied, they now admit, only stripped of its source. The Bible hasn't had to morph. It stands unchanged. Atheism can only morph, endlessly revising, never arriving. In the end, its morphing myths serve one purpose: to prove the truth it tried to escape.